Obviously, as you heard today, he rendered his decision today after carefully considering all the evidence before him as presented by the prosecution and defense. And he found these allegations of misconduct, and it was serious misconduct. And we respect the hearing officer's decision, and we'll abide by that. And we're interested to look at the actual decision to see what he has written in his decision and review that material as we go forward.
Just to clarify, was it 2 counts of discreditable and 1 of neglect?
No, it's 1 count of neglect of duty and 1 count of discreditable conduct.
What are the possible outcomes here that you could look for?
Well, that's what we need to review. We need to review with the provincial standards on what is an acceptable penalty on the position as we put forward. But it's like I say, it's serious misconduct, and our request at penalty phase will reflect that seriousness.
What are the parameters?
Pardon me?
What are the parameters? What are the possible outcomes? Do you have any sense of what's available?
I don't know what the hearing officer will finally rule on. Again, I think it's important that we need to review the decision and determine there what we ask for on penalty, and likewise the defense will do the same.
What are some typical in terms of these kind of charges? What are other penalties that people have faced for similar charges?
Well, the range of penalties is anything from admonishment to termination. Though that is your range. What is typical is what we need to research to figure out what the standard is and what is a fair outcome as a result of this hearing.
Is there anything in the judgment that prompts you to perhaps go back and review either police procedures or police documents? In particular, he referred to the term endorsing or endorsement, and it was fairly wide open, and I'm wondering if there's some perhaps review of that might be necessary now.
It is important to review the decision and look at it in its totality and what the hearing officer had to say. You heard today that he read from portions of it, so it is important to review it. But I can say as an absolute, many of the issues that arose out of this whole occurrence, Chief Frederick has dealt with through project accountability and other steps that have arisen, especially the endorsing of a charge, the signing an approval phase of the charge. Extra checks and balances have been put in place to deal with that. And like this case, like when we look back at it with Dr. Abu Hussan, we failed him as an organization. We failed this man. He was a victim, and we have a sworn duty, all of us, not just Staff Sgt. Bridgeman, to protect victims. And we failed that man as an organization.